Judy.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Funday with Paul and Judy. Happy November 1st.
It's November 1st. Did you say rabbit?
I did.
Actually, we were up till midnight last night. Now, if you're not
midnight yesterday's time.
Right.
But then we had to say it again this morning because then it was the new day's time.
I think that if you're watching this late, it's probably because you forgot about the whole time change.
I know. I actually said, rise and shine with Sunday Funday and Paul and Judy today. I hope you enjoyed that extra hour of sleep. But everybody is pretty energized in my exercise class this morning. So I think everybody did really enjoy it. And
awesome.
It was funny. The instructor said to us, so anybody overindulge in candy yesterday? And my hand shot up. And I realized I was the only one in class whose hand shot up. And then I kind of wanted to we are an exercise class after all, we're supposed to be good and diligent.
Speaking of indulging.
I put my hand down and she said, really, you indulged? I said, yeah. I said, I don't really eat candy. So I had 2 whole pieces. She said, really? So then she said, all right, we're going to work on the areas where they go, the thighs. I said, yeah, Snickers and Snickers. So the whole rest of the class, we were talking about doing thigh work, glute work, hamstring work. It was, okay, here comes Snickers 1 and Snickers 2. So it was really funny.
We forgot about our cheers.
Beginning the show
cheers,
with
everybody.
Our cheers to you. Happy weekend. Hi, Jane. Hi, Shelly. Welcome to the show. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us today. Hi, Glenna. I always wonder, Glenna, if LaDawn ever watches the show. That's Glenna's sister.
Right?
Yeah, and they've both submitted recipes to us. So, but I never see her name pop up. Hi, Deborah. Nice to see your guys' names and sometimes even faces in those little emojis. Hi, Sherry. Welcome to the show. So, speaking of candy and speaking of Halloween.
Yes.
Somebody's going out for a good time. It's a beautiful day here in Florida.
Day.
What's happening where you live? I wanted to remind you of what last year looked like on our show.
And what we looked like.
Yeah, and what we looked like because, but it was actually on Halloween Day. So we kind of could get away with it. But the funny thing about this show was all that kind of happened in the beginning of the show. So obviously we were doing our toast for Sunday Funday. And then we were introducing you to, what was our parrot's name?
I don't know.
Pedro?
Well, that's what
Pedro
they call
the
it.
parrot or something?
That's what they call it in a parrot in Brazil, Pedro.
But the problem was that we had to put Pedro down because Paul was losing his costume. And after a while, it got to a point where we didn't even try to hold it on anymore because it was just not going to hang in. So at first, the goatee part went, and then the whole thing was gone. And I put the URL address up there for you if you wanted to watch the show. It's in the comments section because it still lives on, the channel.
I do remember that.
But it really was. It was such a good time. And the only reason we didn't do it this time is because, sometimes when a holiday or an event is over, it's like people are saying, okay, on to the next thing.
Moving on.
Exactly. So anyway, really very fun and very funny.
We had an interesting, funny story about giving out candy last night.
We do.
We weren't sure whether it was even going to be a thing or not.
Right.
So
the whole COVID
conversation,
conversation, were people going to dress up and go out and, take candy from others? So we really didn't know.
So just to hedge my bets, when I was shopping last week, I got 1 bag of candy, 18 pieces in it.
18 whole pieces. Because last year, we never know around here. We've talked to you about living on a cul-de-sac. And some years we get 5 kids, and then other years we might get 25. Yeah. But we never get the hundreds and hundreds of kids that we used to, and that a lot of you get where you live.
So as Judy was, I think, editing, I hear the doorbell go off. It was one of those, like the hay rides where they have a big old float.
Coming behind the truck.
Like a dozen kids on it. And they descended en masse to our front door. I'm giving them all candy, thank you. I said, Judy, I think we're in trouble. So I jumped in the car to go get some more candy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Judy goes and sits with our neighbors.
We're sitting outside of the end of our driveways, just talking with each other.
So we can,
Yeah.
hang out to the can. And so I'm now trying to get candy. She says, well, what happens if I run out of what I have? Just borrow from them. We'll pay them back.
Tell them we're good for it.
So I come back with way too much candy.
Oh my
and we saw 2 more people the whole night.
And even then we were begging them to come down.
Come on back, take some more.
It was so funny. I thought, oh my gosh, we're going to end up with Kit Kats and Milky Ways and Snickers for days. Paul said, don't worry about it. I'll have a little snack to give me some energy on my way to basketball in the morning. Pass it out to the guys. Don't worry.
I forgot. It's so funny you say that. I forgot last week we were talking about all the candies.
Exactly.
The old candy.
We
forgot to go.
that.
We forgot to go to the store and take some pictures.
Yes, but it was so cute, you guys, last weekend when we did this, going through all the comments and all the reminders of the candy that you remember as a kid, or that you bought and gave out, or that you hated and you didn't want to get in your Halloween basket. That was so much fun to see all of the participation. So that was really cute. But hope you had a happy Halloween and a safe Halloween.
It was fun. It's always fun.
Always fun. So speaking of fun,
yes,
we have so much to talk about today. One of which is our sponsor.
Oh.
And we mentioned that we have our first sponsor on the show, and we talked about it last weekend. Well, we got our first sample. So we decided to bring it out.
It doesn't come in a bowl like that.
No, and it comes
a
a lot bigger than this. But when we were talking about our sponsor last weekend, I was really impressed with how many of you went to the site and decided that you wanted to try this. Mm-hmm. This is from Corny Kettlers, and they are...
Like the Wolf and the Moose.
I got a great story for you on that.
Oh.
So the guy who started this, they live in Southwest Virginia in the Blue Ridge Mountains,
mm-hmm.
and which still has nothing to do with the wolf and the moose, but I'll get there. He started the company with his wife mm-hmm. last year, 2019, all because he couldn't find a kettle corn vendor. So, you know how we always talk about our YouTube channels? Well, he decided to go on YouTube and research how to make kettle corn. And so learned how to do it. And it got to be so popular. He was making different flavors and having fun, and neighbors were helping. And so then he started to hire people to help him with the company. So, and the story behind the logo, and I also put the address of cornykettlers.com in the comments. And if you go to try out any of the flavors, mm-hmm. definitely use the word Judy in the coupon code and you'll get 15% off. So, but the story, this is so cute. So the story behind the Corny Kettlers logo is, so the wolf is named in honor of their Alaskan Malamute.
Ah.
Yeah, and his name is Reddick. And then the other one, the moose, believe it or not, is named after their German Shepherd.
How about that?
Why? Because his name is Moose. And then, of course, from Forest, Virginia, Southwest Virginia, the background is all about the Blue Ridge Mountains. So that's the whole deal behind the Corny Kettlers.
What are we tasting today?
Oh, you guys.
By the way, I can't go to a movie without getting popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, we're not going to movies anymore, so we're binge watching.
Right.
So we are prepared.
So when this came up and these people wanted to be a part of our show, we said, oh my gosh, the timing is perfect. Because if you're doing what we're doing, binge watching and staying home, but you still love your popcorn fix. We even have those buckets, those original popcorn buckets. So we just pour this into our bucket. But listen to this as far as flavors. So they have cookies and cream, kettle cake, and those two are the two most popular flavors, mm-hmm. I guess, that they sell. Classic kettle corn, sweet jalapeno, cheddar, your regular cheddar, mm-hmm. yellow, orange, white cheddar, and that's the one that we're going to try now.
I love white cheddar popcorn.
Can I have some? Yeah. Well, I keep rattling off the flavors. White cheddar, cherry, blue raspberry, cocoa, and caramel. So we have a long way to go and a lot to try.
That's good.
But it's look at the size of these kernels, and there wasn't one. What do they call them? Old Maids?
No Old Maids.
No unpopped kernels in the bag.
That's delicious.
Isn't that
fun?
What
are we watching today?
Yeah.
Oh, the Steelers are on. I forgot.
What time?
1 o'clock.
Oh, okay. So you guys, if you want to try this and support them,
Very good.
it's a great family operated business. And I love the local story. Oh, an extension to the story.
Oh.
As I swallow my kernel. He is in education. He's a technology teacher. And he also had gone to school to be a PE teacher, health education teacher, driving school instructor. I mean, this guy's busy. So this is really a side business, but he loves it. They're having a ball and making a lot of friends, and they ship all over the country to include Alaska and Hawaii.
Wow.
So isn't that great?
We talk about the discount.
Yes, 15% off. If you use when you get to the very end. I think you can choose things like a lot of you went onto cornykettlers.com after the show last weekend, and many of you bought the 3-pack. So that's a good way to try multiple flavors, and then you can go back and get bigger bags of your favorite flavor, or try another 3-pack the next week and see what you like best.
I love this. I know that we're going to be trying some others.
Yep.
I'm curious the difference between the white and the regular cheddar.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Yep. That one I think is going to be a little messier. So have your wet naps nearby. Yeah, because of the orange. But I'm also really looking forward to trying the sweet jalapeno. That's going to be really different. And then there's that cherry and a blue raspberry that would be very interesting if you like fruit. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. So once they get to the checkout,
yes,
there's a code.
It says, like if you have a coupon code. So you'll get 15% off your order. And it's fun to see that drop down, before you pay. But the code is Judy. So I think I just put it up there. Oh, yeah. So good. So keep that in mind, too. Glenna loves kettle corn. Okay, Glenna, now that your name popped up, we're going to segue into talking about you. She's like, wait, what? So let me bring that comment
I'm still
down.
eating. Is that bad?
No, not at all. Because Glenna sent in her version. You know how we love to do our In the Kitchen with Paul and Judy's.
Yep.
So Glenna sent in her version of mushroom risotto.
Yay.
Great job, Glenna.
It looks good.
I know. Oh my gosh. It was so good when we made it, and hers looks wonderful.
Now,
I never found out though if she got the porcini mushrooms.
Oh, that's a good question.
Because that was one we didn't find.
Glenna, also show a picture of your bicep after the 30 minutes of stirring.
She did say something about that too. She said, I definitely need to have some help next time.
It's a lot of stirring. I know this.
Oh my goodness. But that's great. I thought that was just so cute that she sent it in. Oh, and speaking of food, since you're still chewing.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be. I know. It's so good. Speaking of food, I don't know if Mariana is watching, but she also sent in her version of another recipe that we did on In the Kitchen with Paul and Judy.
That was so good.
I know. Isn't that good? So she did the burst tomato, goat cheese, and prosciutto quiche. And she said it filled the 2 pie shells beautifully. She loved it. It was yummy. So thank you guys for participating and sending in your pictures.
That was really, really good. We had that. I had that several times for breakfast as well. But it was delicious. And even though we used the gluten-free pie crust, you can't tell.
No, not at all. So if you're using any other kind of pie crust, or you are really good and love from scratch to make a pie crust from scratch, but it was delicious. And one of the comments that was made actually on YouTube underneath the video was, maybe if you did one of those deep dish pie crusts, then the recipe would fill just one.
Oh, I gotcha.
You know what I mean? But we did the traditional size, so not sure.
I think I would stick with the traditional size, because otherwise it'd be so thick. It'd just be so thick.
Really, really thick. Go a long way either way.
We could try it. But we would definitely do that again. We would do the quarantine pasta again.
And we would do the mushroom risotto again. In fact, we still have some of that arrozo. What's it called? Arrozo rice?
Arborea rice.
Oh, I was so close.
Yeah. But it began with an A.
There's LaDon.
So she had the risotto with her. That's great.
Isn't that a great recipe? Yeah, so easy to do. You guys have inspired us, so I need to start sifting through more of your recipes. where I'm editing one now, and I'm not sure if I can get it done this afternoon, and it'll come out tomorrow morning or Tuesday morning. But I'll show you what it looks like because it came out great. I just have to put the video together. So here is what will be coming out this week in the kitchen with Paul and Judy.
Oh, that's right. Delish.
So good. So not to be confused with Parmesan chicken.
No. Yeah, you're not chicken Parmesan like you get in an Italian restaurant. Not
right, right. I sort of made this up as I went, and it came out so good.
It was delicious. That
we decided we were going to make it again and again and again. And I tell you what, it's at a point too where, oh, Mariana saw it. I'm glad you're watching today, Mariana, so you could see your beautiful quiche on screen. But so this is the one that will be coming out, and it's so easy to do. You know, once you do it once, you have it memorized. Doesn't take a lot of ingredients. Really fast, really, really easy. And you'll be able to find it this week, as I said, on YouTube. I'll put the URL for where you can just go right to the screen, and you'll be able to see it underneath. So that's that's my channel on YouTube.
Fantastic.
Sissy, oh, that looks so good. I know it turned out to be a food Sunday Funday, didn't it?
No, so tomorrow, is it a fitness or is it a food?
That's going to be the food. That's going to be the chicken with Parmesan that comes out tomorrow.
Good, I love it.
Or possibly.
We actually used some of the leftovers in that to do a stir fry, which was very yummy. Very,
very good. Yes. So many different ways that you can be creative. But let's talk about, thank you so much for writing in, everybody, and participating. We love to see that. Let's talk about you and what
talk about me.
Your channel.
Well, my channel is all about gemstones. It's called Paul DC Gemstones.
Yep, I'll put that URL up too, so you guys can go and subscribe.
Yeah. So my goal is to make it like the largest active, free classroom for gemstones. But due to my incessant whining to get subscribers, we surpassed 400. I think it's 425 or something.
Yeah, look, there it is, right underneath your name, 425. He's creeping up on me.
And but I always do. But anyway, so my goal is to get to 500 subscribers by Thanksgiving.
I don't think you'll have any problem.
So just share, it's fun. So what I'm really loving is the interaction, because you guys have been requesting some great stones, and I was very, very reluctant about the diamonds. I'm not a diamond guy. I've often said that on the air.
That's why we balance ourselves out, because I am a diamond girl. Yin yang.
but I love gemstones, and there are some great diamond stories. So I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of what I did. I did like a primer just on diamonds, and then I talked about some of the most famous diamonds and expensive diamonds in the world.
Yeah, wait till you see some of these pictures. Okay, so I'll run that little snippet, and then you can go to his channel and watch the whole thing. Okay, so here it comes.
Well, the last couple of lessons we have had all from our subscribers' requests, and this is no exception. This week we've had a number of requests to talk about diamonds. So what I'm going to do today, it'll be a lesson, a primer on sort of the basics of diamonds, and then towards the end of the lesson, so I hope you hang until the very end, I'm going to show you some of the top most famous diamonds ever in the world. Okay, so I mentioned hardest gemstone on earth. Well, not so much anymore. And I can't avoid the bringing up moissanite here, because I've also had a lot of questions or requests to talk about moissanite as the Millennium Star, and at 203.04, called the Archduke Joseph. It is a 76.02 carat D-color flawless. It's called the Blue Moon of Josephine. It's a relatively recent discovery. It was sold in 2015 for, get ready for this, $48.8 million. You'll learn about some of those. You'll learn about the Hope Diamond, some of these so-called cursed diamonds. Mm-hmm. I'm cursing that I don't have $48.8 million. So.
Right.
But no, it's fun. And I keep the suggestions coming, because I love when you tell me what you guys want to learn about. Sometimes I've even redone lessons, because it was a while since I talked about quartz, and somebody said, can you do something about all the quartz? Mm-hmm. So we did that.
You did one on amethyst, but then you went back and did quartz, and of course that means that subject or that gemstone gets talked about again. Yeah. But speaking of that, I thought this was another really cute thing. You know how much we love to engage with you all. That's why we do this in the first place. And we had a comment from a guy whose name is Tommy. And I want to see if I can find, if I didn't get rid of it. Maybe I got rid of it. Hold on just a second. I'm going to see if I can bring it back in because it's the neatest shot.
I know
remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So hang on just a second. I got to pull this back up for you. There it is. Okay. Okay. So when that comes up, I want to put it up into the screen for you because it wasn't food this time. Believe it or not. He was talking about, and obviously the segue is gemstone part, but he was talking about his collection. So I want to show you this because he bought Paul's book.
Look at that.
And he said that this is just a portion of his gem
I can
collection.
recognize a lot of them in that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Isn't that great? So he wanted to buy Paul's book. And as a result of that, I wanted to give that as an opportunity to you too, to let you know that we do still have it available. And so I think I'm going to be able to put up the URL on Facebook to contact Paul if you'd like to buy one of his books.
There's only 11 left of that.
Okay.
Just
Yep.
so they know.
And the only reason I put 2 up there on the screen is so that you can see the shrink wrapped version. So it'll come to you. We have one there that's uncovered. And then the shrink wrap version is the best way to ship it to you because it's protected. So that's the way you would get it. And we typically say PayPal is the best and safest way to do the payment. Okay, so here's another one. And I was so surprised, but not surprised because of everything that's going on right now with obviously COVID, the vote happening on Tuesday. And so I put this up on my Facebook page and I was shocked at the number of comments that were all, oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And then all the jiffies or giffies that were coming out. So just a reminder to make sure that happens.
Was that Monday?
Before or on Tuesday.
Was that Monday we did that?
When we voted?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
we
it was.
went, well, you know what happened. You may recall that after the last debate, so we decided, okay, everybody's all fired up and they want to get to the polls. So we went, and I think it was
Mine was around the block.
So I said, keep driving.
It's Friday evening,
because the debate was on Thursday. So I said, we'll come back.
But a happy accident, we got to go to Slice Pizza Bar and have a nice little bottle of wine and some pizza.
Yep. We're always going to find a way to have a good time.
But we'd love you all to vote. We don't care who you vote for. That's your business. And it's our right and duty to vote.
Well, and that's what one comment came through. Why is everybody asking this on Facebook? And I wanted to say, because it's so important as a democracy, we have that ability to go and put in our opinion as to what we want to happen. So then, at least you participated.
And I encourage all of you, again, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, to vote in your local elections, because that has the most impact, I think, really on your life.
Yep.
Like we have commissioners that we've had over our house before. And, they're doing things, usually referendums in your community that affect your community. So regardless of what side you're on, they're using your tax dollars in your community.
Yep.
So
So
get to know those guys.
You have to have an opinion on that too. And I was bad, not this year, but in years past, I would just go in and vote for who I wanted for president and then kind of be done and turn my ballot in. And this time I really went through all the amendments very carefully, all the different people running or wanting to stay in office who were there. So I guess you just feel a little bit more a part of your community and having an opinion that way too. So
There's things about the schools, things about, we have something called the homestead exemption here in Florida.
yes.
So
And that was one of those.
So it's good to educate yourself with your local community.
Yeah, absolutely. So just had to put that out there for everybody to kind of consider and remember if you hadn't. So a lot going on. That's why I said it was going to be such a jam-packed show.
I know.
I said to Paul, I'm not even going to tell you the order that we're doing and everything. I just have all these pictures to show and
It's
talk
making me
about.
hungry for popcorn.
Yes, our little Corny Kettlers popcorn people. Wait, we would love for you to support them too.
It's white cheddar. Oh my gosh.
I've never met them in person, but they sure do put out a great product. And just don't forget the coupon code Judy if you do decide to go and order. And I didn't pick that. He just said, "Oh, this is great. You know, we want to support you, and they'll get 15% off if they use." And I chose this code. If you want to change it, I'm like, "No, I like that code. That's a good code."
Well, and was Paul already taken?
No. Although it has the same number of letters.
No, that's true. If I'd have gotten the Paul coupon, it wouldn't have been 15. It'd probably been 14% off. So let's stick with Judy.
Yes, let's get the most out of it.
Oh, speaking of Judy.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad you remembered this.
This is actually touching, and Judy always puts a promo of what's coming up.
You mean for our channels?
For the channels, or what's coming up for Facebook.
Oh yes,
yeah. In the Sunday Funday. And Susie Alramirano, I hope I'm saying that right, Alramirano, said her mother sent birthday wishes to Judy every April 1st. So she was a big fan. And she passed at 105 years of age.
Wow. Oh.
I mean, that's I mean, what a life, huh? And what's amazing.
When you think about, 1915?
No. Yeah, you think you're right.
2020 minus 100 would be 1920.
Right.
So she was born in 1915. Is that possible?
Yeah. How about that?
Wow. Well, that's so sweet. Thank you, Susie. I hope you're watching today.
That was touching, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
And let that be a lesson. Everybody needs to give Judy birthday wishes on April 1st.
It's good luck.
You live longer. But that's seriously, I was touched by that. So
yeah.
Thank you for that.
And thank you for remembering to give a shout out. That's just so kind. There was the longest time when, before everybody was able to communicate really via the internet and on the .coms or even chat boards, people who watched us on QVC, HSN would write physical letters, the stamp. Even before they had self-licking stamps or self-sticking stamps. And there was the longest time where I would just save them because they really got to us as far as, touching our hearts. And they were very personal stories and or either condolences or thinking about you or happy anniversary or, when you had the babies, I'm sure you got
some
lots of things.
Baby paraphernalia.
Sure. So, but now it's so much more instant. So it's really that's why these shows are so much fun. Deborah, Judy, your birthday, then mine. Mary's the one no one ever can figure us out. Isn't that the truth? Oh my goodness. Well, I can't believe that a half hour passed by, but I think I got everything in.
Okay.
No more show and tells to show.
So look tomorrow morning on Judy's YouTube channel for the latest chicken with Parmesan.
Yes. And I'm telling you, it's so fast. It's so easy. I'll put all the ingredients in the drop-down menu underneath the video. And of course, when we go through it, we also tell you what your mise en place is going to be. So all the different things you need and also all of the different measurements.
And weigh in for what you want the next gem lesson to be. I'll go by popular demand.
Okay. I think my next exercise video, and I saw a nice little comment about the exercise videos from somebody who wrote in too, is going to be on those resistance bands again.
Oh, good.
Because I had such positive feedback. They're very inexpensive. There are all kinds of different levels of strength that you can use. Great for legs,
and they
thighs,
don't take
and
up
arms.
any room.
And you can travel with them. Yeah, exactly. So I might do another one on those because there's so many different types of exercises you can do. All those exercises that I'm going to do can also be done without the bands, but it's kind of fun to have those I call them fitness toys because they're motivating too. Just gives you more variety, and you can really, really feel it. So thanks for the break. Need to pack up the car. I've stalled long enough.
Well, thanks
Have
again.
a safe trip, Laura.
Thanks again for watching.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you next Sunday or Saturday when the next gem video drops.
Okay.
Every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Eastern
And
time.
be sure to subscribe to both of our channels. It really helps us out and encourages us to be able to do more. So have a great Sunday. Cheers to you once more. Be safe, have fun, and keep that smile on your face. It brightens everyone's day.
It does.